Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to Tirumantiram Satsang. Let us all pray to Shri Guru Babaji, Shyam and Tirumular to bless us to understand this holy verse, grasp its meaning, essence, and then practice and progress in our spiritual path. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So we are in Tantra 2024 we finished, 2025, am I right, Kanupriya? Oh, she is not here. Kamu, correct?
Let me check. Last time I missed my class. 2022, 23 you have to start.
Oh, 22 only, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
2023. This chapter is on the effort required to control the five senses, the difficulty what we face, and why it is important to have some regulation to progress in this spiritual path. Here, Tirumular compares the senses to the 5 wild elephants which runs amok here and there. It drags, it is very difficult to control. Those senses have such a power. ஆக மதத்தன ஐந்து களிருள. ஆக மதத்தன ஐந்து களிறு உள. ஆக மதத்து அரியோடு அணைகின்றில. பாகனும் எய்த்து அவை தாமும் இளைத்த பின் ஓகு திருந்துதல் ஒன்று அறியோமே. ஆக மதத்தன, the wild elephant, when it is மதம் பிடிச்ச யானை, when the some water from the whole body it will be oozing out, it will be very difficult to control and it will have tremendous power. Such types of elephants, such an elephant who is in agitation. So, but when they are tamed they are under control. But when they are agitated, they are unpredictable and dangerous. They will even pull the post to which they are tied. Even the trees, they will. We have heard a lot of things, no? In recently history also in Kerala, one got in a tourist spot, how an elephant got wild and trampled the one tourist. It was fighting with another elephant. Unfortunately, she got caught in that. So, ஆக மதத்தன ஐந்து களிருள். ஐந்து, the 5 senses are like the wild elephant. ஆக மதத்து அரியோடு அணைகின்றில. It is very difficult to control. Even the Mahotha tried all his tricks, but he is exhausted. He couldn't control the elephant. பாகனும் எய்த்து அவை தாமும் இளைத்த பின். Even he gave up. It is beyond his control. யோகு திருந்துதல் ஒன்று அறியோமே. யோகு திருந்துதல் ஒன்று அறியோமே. So, the only way to effectively control the senses is through the practice of yoga, yama, niyama, all those things, all the Ashtanga yoga, practice that. 2024, கருத்தினன் நன்னூல் கற்று கால் கொத்தி பாகன் திருத்தலும் பாய்மாத் திகைத்தன்றி பாயா எருத்துற ஏறி இருக்கலும் ஆங்கே வருத்தினும் அம்மா வழி நடவாதே. கருத்தின் நன்னூல் கற்று, சரி, with full attention, with full sincerity, you learn all the good scriptures, nannul, all good scriptures written by wise men. கால் கொத்தி பாகன் Call is always referred to the breathing exercise, pranayama. Call kotti, even after control, during to doing pranayama and having gained that control, knowledge, having progressed in that, even then, the person, what we are practicing pranayama, and we learn all the scriptures, but we are helpless. We are seeing that no, we are helpless. We are compared to the Mahout, who has to control the wild elephant. Even if he எருத்துற ஏறி இருக்கலாம், even if he sits on the top of the elephant and try to control it, ஆங்கே வருத்தினும் அம்மா வழி நடவாது. Even if they struggle, it is very difficult to control the elephant. So what we read all good scriptures like Tirumantiram, we practice this breathing exercises and all that, and then we put lot of effort to control that rogue elephant. So but it is very very difficult. So one time it is there, next moment it escapes, the concentration escapes, it gets distracted. So even if the yogi strictly punishes, like sitting on top of the elephant like that, you control. So I will fast, I will not see, I will not speak, like that. Even if you do that, still it is not under control. Still it is not under control. So it is very difficult. That is Tirumular is explaining. 2025 புலம் ஐந்து புல் ஐந்து புட்சென்று மேயும். புலம் ஐந்து புல் ஐந்து புல் சென்று மேயும். நிலம் ஐந்து நீர் ஐந்து நீர்மையும் ஐந்து. குலம் ஒன்று கோல் கொண்டு மேய்ப்பான் ஒருவன். உலமந்து போம் வழி ஒன்பது தானே. உலமந்து, that's a colloquial word generally we used in olden days. Ulamandu poyachu. Ulamandu means it just escaped. There is no attention also, they use that word. It leaves like that. Pulam aindu. Pulam means place. There are five elements. Pulam aindu. Pul means bird. Pul aindu. புல் சென்று மேயும் நிலம் ஐந்து. The land which the birds go and prey, that is 5. நிலம் ஐந்து. Okay. நீர் ஐந்து. நீர்மையும் ஐந்து. நீர்மை means all the senses. I will explain this. The 5 elements are earth, air, fire, water and space. The Jnanendriya, the 5 sensory organs are mouth, eyes, nose, ears and the body. And they are referred to as the birds. The fields on which the birds prey are tanmantras. That is the subtle essence. What is through the ears, what we hear the sound, the sense of touch, the sight, the sense of taste and smell. And the organs of action, karmendriyas, are 5. Speech, hands, manipulation of hands, and our walking with feet, then digestive organs, procreation. So all these are different, but essentially it belongs to the one body and one soul. The soul is personified as the herdsman. Kolkondu Meipan. He is wielding a stick. See, these birds are praying. This is running here and there through that is our energy, our prana, our mind is escaping through all these 5 senses. And when the 5 senses drag us, we walk to the place, we indulge in some action. So the whole body is also it listens to the sensory organs and seeks sensory pleasure according to the outside trigger. So, but the herdsman who is sitting here is our own soul to control this. He wields a stick. That is the knowledge. Now, after practice, having come under our master, we know that unnecessary talks we control, unnecessary, indulgence in all entertainment and all that. What is necessary, what is not necessary, is it harmful, is it detrimental to my spiritual practice, like that we all see this, that control comes, no. So that is, he is wielding a sheep, that is discrimination. No, no, why for a simple pleasure why should we go after that? We want lasting peace, then we decide on that. So like that, through nine, and he says உலமந்து போம் வழி ஒன்பது தானே. Through the nine apertures the energy escapes. We all know the two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, the mouth, and the anus and the urinary tract. Through that, it is, the energy is dissipated. The senses drag us in one, and the sense of touch, sense of smell, taste, everything, and then the body acts accordingly and the energy dissipated. So having control over that is essential to progress in the spiritual path. 2026 அஞ்சு உள, அஞ்சு means five, அஞ்சு உள சிங்கம் lion அடவியில் வாழ்வன. There are 5 lions in a forest. அடவி means forest. அஞ்சுள சிங்கம் அடவியில் வாழ்வன. அஞ்சும் போய் மேய்ந்ததும் அஞ்சுகமே புகும். அஞ்சும் போய் மேய்ந்து தம் அஞ்சு அகமே புகும். அஞ்சின் உகிரும் எயிரும் அறுத்திட்டால் எஞ்சாது இறைவனை எய்தலும் ஆமே. Now Tirumalar is comparing these 5 senses to the lion which is roaming in the forest. Where is the forest? Our mind is the forest, the memory. The memory, the lingering memories, the distractions, that is the wild forest. அடவியில் வாழ்வன அஞ்சும் போய் மேய்ந்து தம் அஞ்சு அகமே புகும். What the lions will do, they will go, they hunt and eat their prey and then come back to its den. அஞ்சின் உகிரும் எயிரும் அறுத்திட்டால். So if you remove their nails and எயிறு or teeth, if you remove their nails and teeth, எஞ்சாது இறைவனை எய்தலும் ஆமே, you can reach the Lord. So here this verse, the lions which are wild and untamed, it is a metaphor for the sensory organs. They freely graze and hunt their prey, which are the sensory pleasures of physical life. As a result, the soul is prevented from experiencing this blissful union with the divine. If the lions are tamed by cutting their nails, which they will tear the prey, and their teeth, then they can be tamed. Then the soul, like that, when it is tamed, what is the nails and the teeth here for us? That is the desire and attachment. When they are removed, senses will drag, you can see, you can enjoy and all that. The moment to possess that thought comes, then only the agitation starts, owning it. So the desire and attachment. So that those are the compared to the nail and the teeth. So sensuality is not evil in itself, but it's the desire and attachment which cause suffering, says Tirumalar in 2025. 2026. 2027. ஐவர் அமைச்சருள் தொன்னூற்று அறுவர்கள் ஐவரும் மைந்தரும் ஆளக் கருதுவர் ஐவரும் ஐந்து சினத்தோடே நின்றிடில் ஐவர்க்கு இறை இருத்து ஆற்றகிலோமே. ஐவர் அமைச்சருள் தொன்னூற்று அறுவர்கள். Ministers are 5. 96 தொன்னூற்று ஆறு. 96 is subordinates. And they are ruling us. So the 5 sense organs try to act as ministers, enforcing their will on the soul. And there are 96 tattvas, or principles of nature, which serve as the basis of action for these senses. ஐவரும் மைந்தரும் ஆளக் கருதுவர். So they want to control the soul, the senses. So if the organs are fighting with us, ஐவரும் ஐந்து சினத்தோடே நின்றிட, they are angry, they are demanding, do this, desires are raging. So what? When you see, when you hear, when you eat, when you smell and touch, so there is this desire to eat more, to enjoy the touch and all that. So the soul attempts in futility to find lasting happiness in things which are impermanent. ஐவரும் ஐந்து சினத்தோடு நின்றிட, they are dragging us with anger, with power. How to tackle them? We don't know. We are crying. ஐவர்க்கு இறை இருத்து ஆற்றகிலோமே. So ஐவர்க்கு இறை is here what you call as கப்பம் கட்டுறது. கப்பத்துக்கு என்ன சொல்கிறது? It is if the rulers demand some money, or the king demands, it's like a tax, So for enjoying that, the tax, you have to pay the tax. The subordinate rulers, they have to go to the powerful king and offer. Every time they will offer some gold. That was the practice in the when kings were ruling us. So like that, these senses are demanding, and we succumb to that. That is the tax we are paying, and then we also suffer. We are depleted. So we like he says ஐவர்க்கு இறை இருத்து ஆற்றகிலோமே. So we are not even paid at a certain point. We are not even able to pay the tax, irai. So he says he was unable to conquer the atrocious 5 organs of sense. So unable to find release from them, he gets entangled, this jiva. He feels like riding a horse which is marching towards death. It doesn't know it is controllable. Like, that comes in the next verse, 2028. Here, ஐவர்க்கு இறை இருத்து ஆற்றல். We are not able to pay the tax also. 2028. சொல்லகில்லேன் சுடர்ச்சோதியை நாள்தொறும் சொல்லகில்லேன் திருமங்கையும் அங்கு உள வெல்லகில்லேன் ஐந்துடன் தன்னையும் கொல்ல நின்று ஓடும் குதிரை ஒத்தேனே. கொல்ல நின்று ஓடும் குதிரை ஒத்தேனே, like a wild horse which is dragging. It is going to die. It will to that speed it is running, dragging me to death. சொல்லகில்லேன் சுடர்ஜோதியை நாள்தொறும், the effulgent. Here he talks in first person. He talks in first person here. 1 minute. Tirumula, he in this verse speaks in first person. He says that Sollagillen Sudajjodiyai Nalthurum. Shiva's greatness is beyond. Sollagil, I am not able to explain his glory. It is beyond words. Sollagillen Tirumangiyum Angu Ulla. I am not able, it is beyond words. I am unable to praise him adequately, unable to Sudar Jyoti, he is effulgence, pure consciousness. Tirumangayum Angulla Tirumangayum, even the Devi, the Shakti who is with him, even her glory I am not able to praise adequately. Sollagillen Pulanayindudan Tannayum, I am unable to conquer this atrocious 5 organs of sense, unable to find release. கொல்ல நின்று ஓடும் குதிரை ஒத்தேனே. I am so helpless, like a person riding a horse which is rushing headlong towards death. So the wild horse represents the 5 senses. 2029. Ennili illi. Illi means whole. எண்ணிலி இல்லி உடைத்து அவ்விருட்டரை எண்ணிலி இல்லியோடு ஏகில் பிழை தரும். எண்ணிலி இல்லியோடு ஏகாமை காக்குமேல் எண்ணிலி இல்லதோர் இன்பம் அது ஆமே. எண்ணிலி means unable to count, countless. இருட்டறை, it's a dark cell. This body, this mind is like a dark cell which has ennili illi. There are so many holes. This mind, the dark chamber that has innumerable holes. If anyone goes through these innumerable holes, he will fall into misery. If one guards himself from slipping through these innumerable holes, then எண்ணிலி இல்லதோர் இன்பம் அது ஆமை. Even the joy, the ecstasy, that will also be countless. So it has our body is similar to a dark chamber. It has apertures in through the senses, the energy, everything escapes escapes through these sensory organs. If this continues unending, that will find various ways to escape. It will convince us. The senses somehow will convince us, oh, it's okay, only one time, no, it doesn't matter. Like that, somehow it will convince us. So, this is there is, if you fall into that, miseries may befall. So it is mind, one has to guard seeking pleasures through the body. Then the mind is capable of achieving this eternal bliss. It will reach Shiva, who is beyond thought and beyond thought, and who is embodiment of purity, knowledge, and love, compassion. That state one can achieve if one knows how one guards against indulging in the sensual pleasures. 2030. விதியின் பெருவலி வேலை சூழ் வையம் துதியின் பெருவலி தொல்வான் உலகம் மதியின் பெருவலி மானுடர் வாழ்க்கை நிதியின் பெருவலி நீர்வலி தானே. விதியின் பெருவலி வேலை சூழ் வையம், the ocean, வேலை சூழ் வையம், the world which is encircled by this ocean is due to the strength of fate, vidhi. துதியின் பெருவலி தொல்வான் உலகம், the ancient celestial world, தொல்வான் உலகம், the celestial world is due to the great strength of prayers. மதியின் பெருவலி மானுடர் வாழ்க்கை, the human life is due to the great power of madi, reasoning. நிதியின் பெருவலி நீர்வலி தான், the great vitality of wealth is due to the great strength of rains. So karma determines in what part of the world, which part of the world one is born. It is aspiration expressed in prayer which determines the celestial plane to which the soul travels after death. So it depends upon our aspiration. See why we are born in India, why someone is born in London, one in UK, one in Pakistan. That is our vidhi. That is the karma. This world surrounded by ocean, where we are born is determined by our karma. So our aspiration, our prayer, our progress, that takes us to the celestial world. Which part of the plane? There are various planes, no? Which part of the plane we will reach? That decides. The culture, civilization, and type of life an individual enjoys depend largely upon the strength of strength of reasoning, strength of power. So material wealth comes through how the land prospers through rains. Material wealth is spiritual wealth, prosperity, health. All these things are due to the grace of God. So, as water is indispensable to the world of creatures, grace is indispensable for a life of liberation. That is why it says, Nidhi in Peruvali, Neervali Dane. Nidhi is the wealth. The wealth, what wealth? Physical wealth, material things, spiritual wealth. Everything is due to the grace of God. That is 2030. So now he talks about the ஐந்து இந்திரியம் அடக்கும் முறைமை, the method of controlling the five sense organs. He is talking in this chapter. 2031. குட்டம் ஒரு முழம் உள்ள. குட்டம் ஒரு முழம் உள்ளது, அரை முழம் வட்டம் அமைந்தது, ஓர் வாவி உள் வாழ்வன, பட்டன மீன் பல பரவன் வலை கொணர்ந்து, இட்டனன் யாம் இனி ஏதம் இலோமே. குட்டம், குட்டம் means depth. ஸோ குட்டம் ஒரு முழம் உள்ளது, அரை முழம் வட்டம் அமைந்தது, ஒரு வாவி. It is like a well. What is well here? The face is circular in shape like a pond. So from the up to the neck, from the top to the neck, it is one muram, one cubit length from the neck to the navel. The cross length of the body is half a cubit. 1 cubit means 1.5 feet. So the cross length of the body is half a cubit. The face is circular in வட்டம் அமைந்தது ஒரு வாவி. Vavi is like a pond. Well, the face is circular in shape like a pond. In the face are the வாழ்வன, உள்வாழ்வன, பட்டன மீன் பல. There are 5 sense organs. They are மீன் பல, five fishes. வலை கொணர்ந்து இட்டனன் யாம் இனி ஏதம் இலோமே. Who is throwing this thing, net? The fisherman, Paravan, வலை கொணர்ந்து, with he throws that net. ஏதம், that is, ஏதம் means suffering. So when the Lord wheels this net to catch us, that time the fishes which are struggling, distracting, that will lose the power. He will take out all the fishes out. Then there is no suffering. You can reach him. That is grace. When the Lord showers his grace, the senses are controlled and sublimated. That is to say, they are properly directed towards God. So when it is the soul obtains that grace of the Lord, they are free. Edamilami, there is no suffering. So Tirumular says, instead of fighting with your senses and all that, pray to the Lord. Obtain, get His grace. How it take Him? 1 minute. Wait, is it recording? Yeah. 2032 கிடக்கும் உடலில் கிளர் இந்திரியம் அடக்கல் உறும் அவன்தானே அமரன் விடக்கு இரண்டு இன்புற மேவுரு சிந்தை நடக்கின் நடக்கும் நடக்கும் அளவே நடக்கின் நடக்கும் நடக்கும் அளவே கிடக்கும் உடலில் கிளர் இந்திரியம், the person capable of controlling the vigorous sense organs, அடக்கல் உறும் அவன்தானே அமரன். In the living body, to control who is capable of controlling these various sense organs, he is the immortal person, because it is very difficult to control the senses. Those who have control, they are immortal. விடக்கிரண்டு இன்புற மேவுரு சிந்தை. As long as the mind craves enjoyment of the bodily desires, the movement of life breath will continue to last. நடக்கின் நடக்கும் நடக்கும் அளவே. So according to that only, according to your desires, craving and whatever indulgence you have, accordingly your life force will also last. If it is wasted, life force will get wasted if it indulges in sensual pleasures. So the body can be an instrument for carrying out the Lord's will. Who knows that to submit the body to the Lord's will and control the sense organs will become immortal. Here he says vidakku irandu inbura. That is, there are two desires which are what to say, if the body covets this enjoyment of the two desires, mainly food and desire for sexual stimulation, then the body will remain only. That is why they follow this upavasa, some days abstain from certain things and all that. Once you should, one who has control over this, especially these two desires, will live longer. Otherwise, the moment the breath is stopped, the body will die. So there won't be any immortality. The jiva will not cross over this cycle of birth and death. 2033 அஞ்சு மடக்க அடக்கென்பார் அறிவிலர். அஞ்சும் அடக்கு அடக்கு என்பர் அறிவிலார். அஞ்சும் அடக்கும் அமரரும் அங்கு இல்லை. அஞ்சும் அடக்கில் அசேதனமாம் என்றிட்டு அஞ்சும் அடக்கா அறிவு அறிந்தேனே. அஞ்சும் அடக்கு அடக்கு என்பர் அறிவிலார். So control the senses, people will say. Adakku means control. 5 senses. People will say they are fools, he says. Anjum adakkum amararum angillai. Even celestials who have attained immortality have not succeeded in controlling all the 5 senses. If the senses are simply controlled, then the being is not a sentient being. It is not possible. So he says, with Tirumular Anjum Adakil Asedanamam endrittu, Tirumular claims he has knowledge of realizing the truth without resorting to this control of 5 senses. Then what is that? Anjum adakil asedanamam into asedanam means asedanam like a stone. If there is no emotion, there is no energy, no desire, you remain abstain from everything. You will be like a dead log of wood or a stone, jadam. That is not the spiritual life Tirumular is advocating. He says it's a vibrant life. So, it is the method of sublimating the senses. He, it is using those senses for expansion of awareness, obtaining the witness consciousness. One stands back and observe how the senses are moving. So Sir always talks in recent also Dubai talk also he talks about that. To be in witness consciousness. Then Tirumular says, I practice the Anjum Adakil Asedanamam. Then I'll be like a dead stone. I don't want to but I will observe. I'll be a witness. Anjum Adakka Arivu Arindene. I got this knowledge. So the senses are thus directed to become conscious of God in all things. See, in the Bhakti literature, they will say it's how to use the hand which go after something else, use it for doing seva, use it towards cleaning the temples and all that. Instead of playing cards, if you use it in that way, use of sight, seeing only good things, so seeing only yogis, smell like that, each and everything to offer it to divine service, divine contemplation. If you direct it, the senses will lose their power. That is the method I practice, says Tirumala. Otherwise, instead of forcefully abstaining, one day you can control, and the next moment the temptation will come. So he says, so understanding the movement of the senses, understanding why the mind is moving, with the mind the senses are moving. If one remain in witness consciousness and sublimate the senses through divine seva, divine contemplation, one can reach him. That I practice, says Tirumular in 2033. 2034. முழக்கி எழுவன மும்மத வேழம் அடக்க அறிவென்னும் தொட்டியை வைத்தேன் பிழைத்தன ஓடி பெருங்கேடு மண்டி கொழுத்த வேழம் குலைக்கின்றவாறே. Again, வேழம் is elephant. முழக்கி எழுவன மும்மத வேழம். So, the elephant, when they become rogue elephant, they say no. They say it calls madanir in Tamil. I don't know. It is some juices will emanate from their body, and they'll be roaring, yelling. So, முழக்கி எழுவனம் உம்மது, like that, the senses are roaring, demanding, unable to control. அடக்க அறிவென்னும் கோட்டையை வைத்தேன். I built a fortress of reason to sublimate them. பிழைத்தன ஓடி பெருங்கேடு மண்டி, those that escaped ran amok, creating immense damage, பெருங்கேடு damage. கொழுத்த வேழம் குலைக்கின்றவாறே, they destroyed. கொழுத்த வேழம் குலைக்கின்றவாறே, they went to the sugarcane field and destroyed it. See how beautiful, no? The sense organs are compared to rogue elephants. They become unmanageable. They rogue. Tirumala remarks, he has built a fortress of reasoning so the wild elephants can be controlled. Yet, in spite of the fortress, they destroyed the fortress. Some of them they escaped and damaged. What they fatten, kulutha velam, kulekindravari. They fatten themselves by destroying fields of sugar cane. So that is excessive consumption of sensual pleasures. Then it will eventually destroy the body. So even building a fortress also of no use. It escapes and indulge. So how to sublimate them, how to be in witness, how to direct them towards this truth gradually with our awareness, with Guru's grace, our practice that will happen. 2035. It is 2035 only, no? Yes. ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அகலிடம் ஆவது ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அருந்தவம் ஆவது ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அரண்பதம் ஆவது ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அருள் உடையாரே. ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அகலிடம் ஆவது. ஐந்தில், here ஐந்தில் is the Panchakshara. Nama Shivaya. So, they are the agalidam avadu. When the mind converge, the senses, five senses converge, what will happen then? The whole world will become agalidam avadu. The whole world is within your control with the senses. Because when the mind is converging, one pointedness, it gets absorbed. There is no world, nothing. Only when the mind, all these eye consciousness, all these things emerge, only we perceive the world. So, chant the Panchakshara. Aindil odungil aruntamamavadu. Chant the Panchakshara, constant chanting of this Namachivaya. If you meditate deeply on this and sublimate the five senses in the five letters, Nama Shivaya, five letters, they will win the extensive by the mind will converge if you chant, if you contemplate on the Namachivaya mantra, and you can conquer the entire world. ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அரண் பதமாவது, that will you can reach the holy feet of Hara Shiva. ஐந்தில் ஒடுங்கில் அருள் உடையாரே, they are blessed with the grace of Shiva. So, according to the Panchakshara Deepika, the five senses that is why the Panchakshara is very important. Converge in the five letters. How the sound moves, when I talk, how the sound is moving through the space, Akasha. That is see. The sense of touch depends upon the element of wind, Vayu, which is Va. The sense of sight, eye, depends upon the element of fire, because you see the light emanating from the eyes, no? From fire, which converges in Ya. The sense of taste depends upon the element of water. Then only we can taste anything. That is Na, which converges in Na. The sense of smell depends upon the element of earth and converge in Ma. That is why by uttering this Panchakshara, even after I read this, it was a revelation to me. We should be linked to the, we know that each Adaras, we say Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, like that we place the letters Nama, Shivaya, Om, up to the, up from the Sahasrara Agnya, it is O. And then said from Mooladhara, it is Na, Swadhisthana Ma, she is Agni, fire, and the Manipuraha, Va is heart, and Ya is throat. Here, how the letters converge into the five elements, and then conquer the five senses. That is how the five letters converge in the five senses, thereby effectively having sense control. It is, that is so much emphasis is given to Panchakshara in Saiva Siddhanta. 2036 பெருக்க பிதற்றில் என் பெருக்க பிதற்றில் என் பிதற்றல் blabbering. What is the use? பெருக்க பிதற்றில் என் பேய்த்தேர் நினைந்து என் வெறித்த பொருட்கெல்லாம் வித்தாவது உள்ளம் பெருக்கில் பெருக்கும் சுருக்கில் சுருக்கும் அர்த்தமும் அத்தனை ஆய்ந்து கொள்வார்க்கே. Perikil perikum, if you have desires and you want to possess, it will never end. It will exactly. So with that, with the desires, the attachments will also go. Perikil perikum, surukil surukum. If you have limited uh, essential desire for God, when you do direct it in that, when you say direct the senses in that direction, with limiting your control over your desires, what he says, surukil surukum, then the attachment will also be minimum. It will get minimized. So this is the meaning. Arthamam atthanai. This is the meaning of life. So Perikka pidatril en. What is the use of blabbering? Again and again saying the same thing about the world. See the ways of the world and it plus. What is the use? Peither and Nenendu en. So even if Peither, this is a mirage. This world is a mirage. Then if you go on saying that also, what is the use? You say what were those, look at the world, look at how expansive it is, uh, how many things, how many pleasures to enjoy. Then another person says, oh, it is a mirage, don't fall into this. Nothing, if you say all these things also, but it is only remain in speech and thought. There is no transformation. So the world is the product of the mind. Hence, the mind is the seed. Expanse and constriction both are in the mind. Tirumala suggests one must go beyond the mind to realize truth. Spiritually wise persons அர்த்தமும் அத்தனை ஆய்ந்து கொள்வார்க்கே. Spiritually wise person will realize this uh, truth, realize this jnana. With this, we'll conclude today's satsang. So, since it is about few verses only, we could cover this time because I need to explain each and every in a subtle way. He has given the code to reach, to sublimate the senses and to reach Shiva's abode. Thank you. 2036 we have covered.